only 2 snaps, I think, for the whole starting defense together. What challenge does that pose going into a regular season game finally, and for you?
I mean, not necessarily. I don't think it necessarily poses any challenges. I think Coach Reed and I think how they run practices here, especially with the guys that we're going up against on the other side of the ball, I think we get a lot of work in. So obviously it'll be some adjusting, tackling, different things like that. But for the most part, I think we'll be all right.
How comfortable do you feel like your safety group is, you and some of the other guys going in at cornerback if need be, just because the numbers are a little lighter than others?
Yeah, well, I like to think I'm a cornerback still, but I think Juan is obviously athletic enough. He's longer, got nice speed, and I think myself as well. I think we can go out there in a critical situation.
What makes you so confident in your own ability to switch back and forth if need be?
Well, I played in different systems, I've played outside, I've played inside, I played every position in the secondary. And I've seen a lot of football, so I kind of understand what's going on for the most part. So I don't think that adjustment will be too hard.
What's your advice or message to the young guys that you're getting ready for the first NFL game to not let the adrenaline be too much to handle?
Just treat the game like you've always treated it, in the past. You want to practice like you play. You don't want to get too high. You don't want to get too low. And it's constantly reminding them to go to the next play, whether they make a good play or a bad play. And even for me as a veteran, I can get stuck on bad plays at times. So it's just important to go to the next play, refresh that mind, and then play for the guy next to you.
You've been in this league long enough to know that the first game brings so much uncertainty because guys change different teams. There's obviously new quarterbacks, new systems. What have you taken from both season openers previously that can help you in a situation like this where you guys are so new together, and obviously Jacksonville has a lot of differences from a year ago?
Yeah, I think not even really the first game. I think the first month of the season. Going into my 7th season, there's been plenty of different instances to where we got off to a slow start, got off to a fast start. I think that whole month, really tells you what kind of teammates you have, what kind of coaches you have, what your coach like to do. So I think you get a pretty good idea of who you're around, who you want to be, what kind of group you want to be.
It's probably what they would call like a housekeeping thing. But how is your shoulder? Do you feel like you're able to do everything that you like to do?
Yeah, I'll be ready to roll, no doubt.
You didn't get a little bit like what Vahe was asking, but you personally didn't get very many snaps at all in the preseason. I know you've been in the league a long time, but is there anything missing at this point? Like, what would you have gotten out of that made you didn't?
I'm not sure. I didn't play in the preseason last season, and I ended up with career high in tackles. So I think ultimately it's really about your mindset, your attitude, how you approach the game, and what you're willing to do, on game day. So 100%, 110%, full speed, and not really thinking about making mistakes.
What are you most eager to get out there on Sunday, either as a group or defensively or just individually? What makes you sort of most eager to start this year specifically?
Well, it'd be my first time, really, playing with my group, playing with my guys, in a live game, a game that counts. So it's going to be a lot of different emotions, up and down. I think it's my job to kind of, balance the group, make sure everybody's really focused, like I said, on the next play. Just going out there with a lot of swagger, a lot of intensity. A lot of people here, haven't necessarily seen me play in a Chiefs uniform, so it'll be important for me to go out there and, get off to a fast start.
Just being on a few teams, any difference in approach in the way this group has just approached this first week here?
Well, I would say we have a young team, but a lot of guys here are very committed. I think they understand their assignment, who they are, their role. I think we have, a lot of different roles on this team. A lot of guys have bought into that. So, it's about going out there, like I said, playing for the guy next to you and, going to the next play.
Couple more. From your perspective, what's the biggest challenge that this Jacksonville offense presents?
Well, they have a new offensive coordinator. I think ultimately, Fournette's going to run the ship. I know they gave Foles a lot of money, but I think Fournette is gonna, he's gonna be the guy to kind of get them going. So we have to be ready for that. I think tackling will be big. Communication, especially after the play on the sideline, that'll be big. And then with Foles, I've played against Foles. A lot of people have mixed opinions about him. I think he's a pretty good quarterback, and he likes certain guys. So if we can get a rhythm, a feel early on in the game, who he likes to throw the ball to. I know last year in Philly it was Ertz and Aguilar. So he has his weapons. So he has a few in Jacksonville as well. So I think we'll be ready though.
In the offseason, that you were obviously brought in to be even more of an off-the-field presence as much as what you can do on the field. Just what will be your overall message to your units in pregame huddles and before the game in the locker room and so on and so forth?
Well, it's not about last year. Most certainly not about the Super Bowl, not today at least. It's just about going out, playing one play at a time, playing fast, putting good quality reps on tape. And playing for the guy next to you. I think that's my message to my teammates all the time, to really give it your all for the guy next to you.